This is a certified hood classic.
We're just getting started. I know that you want it.
Hey now.
All rise, orders in court. It's time. It feels like it's been 2 weeks since we've done freaking court. No?
It's so weird. I was looking. I was like, when was the last time we did this? We did something different on Monday. Then we took a day off.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're back at it again. And it's been about 2 or 3 weeks since we did any of the PPO from the Thurston.
I was thinking about that the other day that we haven't seen any of this action in a while.
So yeah, that's what we got going today, as well as a premiere at 3 p.m. Eastern. That's about 2 hours from now. And of course, we got Chase Wild Woman Wednesday coming up. And if you are wondering, if you're over on We Got a Case and you're a member, today's your day, 5:30 Eastern time. So make sure you're ready for that.
Where there's a case going on, but the chat just seems to go off the tracks.
Chat's wild, son.
Not as wild as this dude. He parties. James party. He's a partier.
I can tell that. So this is James against Katherine up here.
No.
Former lovers.
What? Oh, okay. Oh, shit. I was just looking over to Roy.
Roy's a good-looking lady.
She is a handsome
She's
lady.
in the next case.
And
okay. So again, I'd just like to point out, Roy has nothing to do with this case. I know there's going to be tons of people going, well, what was Roy there for?
Ms. Snavely, you talk about an incident in 2021.
Okay, 2021.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Where you indicate that Mr. Peterson was intoxicated, was abusive to you, forced you to have sex.
Told you he parties.
He does.
I could tell just by that speaker.
And that you then tried to work things out afterwards. And
forced sex.
It hasn't worked out, and he's continued to contact you, even though you've told him you don't want him contacting you. Do you have anything you want to add to what you had in your petition?
Yes, Your Honor. I just wish that all communication and contact would cease. That's all I've requested a couple of times, and I just wanted to go on with my life.
James looks like a pain in the ass.
Yeah,
not like a pain in the ass, but like a guy who would be like, "Come on, baby, let's sit back together. Come on, baby."
And then
it's forced the poor lady to move into the space station.
Yeah, she's left Earth literally to get away from James after going back to him after some bad accusations.
Yeah, that's always weird when somebody's like something bad happened. But you know what? We got back together.
Yeah, we run right back because any issue that I ever had, any exes that bad, I walked away. That's what happened to me in Sallyport. I just walked away.
Just walk away, baby.
Okay. Mr. Peterson, anything you want to say?
Yes, I have a lot I want to say about this. This was done, in my opinion, unnecessarily. I have not seen nor communicated with her by phone, like through verbal communication, in 14 months. I live in the same place. I work full time. I walk.
Thank you, KC Carey. Appreciate it. Hugs all around. 14 months hasn't contacted her. So if that were true,
and he says he works all the time. It's not like he said he walking to work. That's always a show of not doing too well. Ne'er do well, perhaps.
Oh no, really? That's okay. It's true. He is pretty stoic
and slow. Very slow.
Yeah, if that were the truth though, 14 months didn't contact her, and I was hauled into court, I'd be shocked as well. But I guess there's probably more to the story.
Maybe he's got theories.
5 minutes away. I have no contact with her. And the one thing that I really want to address is when she said that I forced her in that vacation, that is totally perjury because she initiated it. And not only did she initiate it, it says, forgive my language, that we did anal. She wanted to do that before and after. So none of that is true. And the only
Well, I wasn't expecting that at all. And
Neither is she. Look at her face.
she's looking off into the hole, the black hole, the brown hole. Gary, thank you for the 2 bones.
Look, earlier when I said the guy looked like he could be a pain in the ass, I did not know we were going here. I did not know. Good to see you, Chris. I did not know. I mean, so he's saying she initiated this Lovins, and it was even the back door Lovin, to be accurate.
Wow. And I like how he's throwing it onto her too. She's the one that initiated. She's the one that wanted it.
By the way, she asked for it again. Remember, another time she's like, "Hey, remember what we did on vacation?"
Saving the good stuff for the vacation.
Yeah, vacation's where you let it all hang out.
Wow. All right. Well,
Jesus Louise.
only contact that has been made between us has been me asking her to remove her belongings because I did not want to throw out someone's stuff. And she refused to get her belongings. And her last message actually was,
my ass hurts.
Do what you want with them, throw them away. And then she found out that I had messaged one of her friends to go for a hike, and I get a restraining order.
Oh, okay.
All right. Well,
okay.
We have not had any contact. I've never threatened violence on her. I've never hurt her. I've never laid a hand on her. I've never done anything to her.
Is he insinuating this was a bitter move by her?
Communication was all about getting her belongings.
I would say so. In the fits of rage, I guess maybe I could see somebody coming back and just being, I don't care what you do with the shit. Throw it away, whatever. Yeah.
He said she didn't. He went on a hike.
Right.
No, last time this guy went out hiking and on vacation, what happened? He went on a hike with one of her friends, and then here comes the protective order. Again, maybe vengeful, maybe. That's not for us to decide. We're just here listening to facts.
Good point.
Is a perfect shirt.
Turning into it today.
That's it, Your Honor.
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking at an email from the 23rd of April of this year.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was not
awkward.
Sorry, Your Honor.
Go ahead.
I said I was not able to submit any evidence in. I did not have enough time. I did not know you needed a week beforehand, and I had been served just a few days before that. And I'm not sure what selective emails were submitted to the court by her, because it could look out of context.
Okay.
Good call.
Well, the emails are.
I guess we should have done a poll today.
I don't know if
I just thought of something.
Do you save special things for vacations? Is that what we want to ask? Because I'm not asking the other question. I don't want to know.
Right. That's true. No, I was wondering, he didn't really specify. I was wondering, it wasn't like a strap-on type situation. I believe they call it pegging.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Never heard of it.
Never heard of
it. No.
I mean,
Legend Boy, thank you.
Is inaccurate because I see there's conversation back and forth about her belongings, but then it spills over into the relationship talk, and looks like I see emails from you on the 23rd of April, the 17th of April, I think the 16th, the 15th.
Yes.
So explain that to me.
Yes, I was. She would talk to me about the relationship. She says in the papers that she changed her number, blocked it, and did all this stuff. The only reason I had her number or her email was because she reinitiated contact with me, and once in a while she would talk about the relationship and I would re-engage. And she gave me hope for about 6 months that we were going to get back together, and it never happened.
That was me.
And
Correct.
towards the end, it was totally civil until she kept saying that she was going to get her belongings and she wouldn't. And I have a small apartment and I have had them for 14 months. And yeah, I was a little bitter about the relationship, but I sent her an email and I was being very civil all the time with her belongings. I told her I would, when she told me to throw them away, I said, okay, but I will dispose of anything that is fragile or mail
He's a
in
real
an
wordsmith, I tell you.
appropriate way, or save it for you, because I don't want you to lose your past and I want you to lose your stuff. And even though we had those issues with our relationship and still had a little bit of bitterness between each other, I still maintained I want to get you your belongings. I did not hold that against her. She just would always say, I will come this day. And then she said, the last one of her last messages, she said,
This guy.
I can't remember.
I was just going to say, this is why on a lot of things that you fill out, they ask you about your education.
What was the highest grade you completed?
You
My
might-
God. I don't want you to lose your past. Huh? Anything she hasn't got that came in the middle of the last 14 months, I guarantee she doesn't need. It's not important. Got some coupons expiring in a month. I hate to see her go to waste.
Peter A.
Uh,
But remember, anything that was for Jilly, he properly took care of.
Paid him, but she said, I can't find a time to come and pick him up. Do what you will with my stuff and throw it away.
Right.
So,
All right. Ms. Snavely, it's hard for me to tell with what you submitted as to who initiated the most recent email exchange. So you tell me how that happened.
I'm not sure who initiated the most recent email exchange. I would have to go back into my emails and see if I still have all of them.
That's interesting.
Have multiple times tried to arrange with James to come get my belongings, and due to the nature of our splitting last year in the spring, I tried to resolve with him times that either I could have somebody else come and get my things, or he could be not there when I got my things. And we were never able to come to a agreeable time or situation in which I was allowed to come get my belongings. There was a couple of different occasions on which I had somebody with a flatbed trailer lined up to come help me move my things, and James just got upset.
Hold on. He made it sound like she's got mail there. Mail. Why are we getting a flatbed?
You bring it in a flatbed trailer. Jesus Christ.
It's hard to say with this case if it's sour grapes or if it's like really a dangerous situation, but really doesn't. I mean, she can't tell us who started initiated the last email exchange. If you're scared of somebody, you're going to know, hey, all of a sudden they've got this, this, and this. But Catherine's background makes her look like a villain. Like she's making some sort of requests.
But remember, it's not just the background though. She's got like a black turtleneck on, almost like she's wearing like a costume at the moment.
Yes.
Was this on May 4th? Maybe.
I am the intergalactic sponsor for the planet Yangtar.
All right, that's too funny. I need a flatbed truck come in and get my mail here.
About something and said, well, I've already thrown your things away. They're gone. And I don't know if he did have my things 2 weeks ago still. I don't know if he got rid of them a long time ago. It's been back and forth a bunch of times on.
I hope they got to start taking his clothes off. In the background there.
The guy just came in coughing up a lung.
I know that I'm not ever going to get them back. He's made it to where I cannot come get them. There's no time or situation that works for him, that works
Bill.
for me. And so I wanted him to stop communicating with me. And I said, please stop, or else I will go to the police and file for an order. And he sent me a nasty message after that, and I just didn't respond to it. And then he sent me another one talking about how he's going through my things, and he found pictures of me and my ex who passed away.
Oh,
And he said, I hope it's him, and that he enjoyed destroying the pictures or something along those lines. And
oh, that's kind of a
No,
dick
this is
move
the-
there, James.
this is the continued nature of when he reaches out to me every so often. It's mostly just to be mean or cruel. And I just want him to leave me alone, and I don't want him to email me. And
Can we talk about vacation, though, Catherine? I'm wondering how your thoughts were on that.
All right.
Yeah, she really
I
ran
was
away
thinking
from
that.
that subject.
Hold on, Mr. Peterson.
Is there any way James isn't bald underneath that cap?
Mystic Lady, those are people that are out there for another case.
Yeah, we won't even hear from Rachel.
I'll ask a couple
either
questions
today.
from Peterson. Are there any personal belongings of Ms. Snavely that you still have?
Yes, I kept all her mail and all that stuff because I wasn't sure how to dispose of that properly without it being tampered with or someone finding it or, anyone using her information.
100%.
And I never
Yeah, you're right.
once said I threw away her stuff and never
Okay.
once.
All right. Yeah.
We all have.
All I need to know is you still have some of her belongings and you are willing to return those?
Yes, her sensitive stuff like all her mail, all her whatever that pertained to her name or
Again, nothing but
was,
mail.
like related to her as in documents and stuff like that, I still have because I did not want someone else to get in possession of them.
Like
And
birth
how can
certificate?
you return
What are
them
we
to
talking-
Ms. Snavely?
I told her that's the thing I wanted to respond to is not once was there ever a situation where she said she had a vehicle ready and she could pick stuff up because I have stated in emails saying
I've read the emails where the two of you are going back and forth about that. Do you have a plan for getting them back to Ms. Snavely?
she can come and get them whenever she wants. I said I can put them outside the door. I can leave and have someone else be here. I said I will do anything. Just please come get your belongings.
What belongings?
And she just said
Mail.
no. She doesn't have time.
No, I think it's a backwards cap, Steve. I think.
Okay.
If it's a
Yeah,
do-rag, that's
I
even
was
better.
given a time frame in which doing this last.
Right.
It was vacation, caveman. They don't use lube. So far, just from what we've heard, doesn't sound like we have much. But the judge, again, and we like to point this out as often as we can. And with this judge, he doesn't share a lot with us what he's read or seen that has been given. Not by James, because he didn't have enough time to get the stuff in, but whatever Catherine.
I thought I had more time, whatnot. But Catherine did submit a email exchange between the two of them. So maybe that's got some evidence. I mean, what is everybody feeling right now? Catherine wants this PPO. Should she get it? Or is James, is he going to take it up the ass on this one?
Literally and figuratively. Old Mikey, thank you. One to the main channel. Appreciate you. And I'm kind of siding for no TPO at the point. But
Yeah.
Again, I'd love to see the emails, though. I would imagine they would shed some light on some of it.
Yeah, I've read the back and forth where the two of you haven't figured out how to make this happen.
But yet they were able to figure out the other thing. Good for them.
Mr. Peterson.
Pro tip from Rock Dog.
It's just documents.
It's a lot of documents, so it would have to be shipped in.
Okay.
A shipping container.
No,
He's a
that's
flatbed for these
plausible.
documents.
He got rid of everything. Didn't he say that it was quite a while between time, right? That she
14
didn't
months.
Right? Yeah, there was 14 months that he's been holding on to her mail. And whatever, if there is anything else.
Why didn't she put in a change of address?
Delaney, you really missed out on how to vacation. We learned a lot in the beginning without
Yes.
Delaney.
you need to go back and figure if you've been doing it right or wrong.
That's right. Sweet tea. Thank you. Wonder We Got a Case channel again. Members only at 5:30 East for We Got a Case channel tonight.
Do you want this stuff back, Ms. Snavely, or have you given up on it?
I've given up on it, honestly.
He's got to charge her storage and disposal as much mail and documents as he's got.
Speaking of mail and documents, hi, Rachel.
She's got tons of receipts and paperwork. By the way, I love the transition lenses on James there. You don't know if he's indoors, outdoors, but he's always protected from the sun and its dangerous UV rays.
I think he's one of those
I
look over
I'm not
the
in a
glasses
position
quite
to
often.
negotiate how to make this happen. Seems to me it could be a fairly easy resolution.
No shit.
Like Mr. Peterson, you could just put the stuff outside your door and just leave it there. And if Ms. Snavely sends somebody to pick it up, then it gets picked up. Then if after a week it's still there, then you can dispose of it. You know, there are all 1,000 ways to do this.
I suggested that. I just didn't want.
Okay, yeah. We're not gonna, like I said, I'm not gonna negotiate it. Just
No
pointing out
negotiation.
the obvious here.
Yeah.
Hi, Bob.
Protected.
Oh, I thought she's looking through like court papers there, Rachel. She's looking through drawings from her grandchildren or something. Just see that? It looks like a greeting card.
She's going through her kids' homework. Dun, 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 dun. Little Johnny's effed up again. Do, 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 do.
If the TV brightens up and you're watching the TV and it brightens up, does your glasses automatically change or does it?
And Your Honor, may I add that
Oh, geez.
I do not mind the no contact or anything because I have no intention of contacting her further.
Are you
We're
stupid?
broken
Now
up.
she's going to get
I
it.
have no idea where she lives, and I stay with.
Now she's going to get it. He just said he's fine with it.
Of my house, so I have no issues with that.
Well, that's
If that makes her feel
really
more
dumb on
comfortable.
his part because there's more ramifications to just getting against it.
Yeah. You want that on your record, you dummy?
The anal thing I was not expecting at all, Katie.
No.
It really threw me through. I just, I just wasn't.
And
it's a
Ms.
random-
Snavely, two of you
It's a
resent-
random piece of news that we didn't even need to know. I don't know why he even chose that, other than to kind of
Other than to shut down her thing that she had claimed, which after he said that, we haven't heard a single word about the forced lovins.
Oh, that's true.
Again.
Yeah. So she really did not bring up anything to do sexually with him.
Yeah. She just said there had been some forced lovins. And then he came on, he said, well, I want to speak about the accusation about what went on during the vacation. She initiated it. She wanted it. And we did it more after. So that kind of shut that down.
Oh, yes, we did, Your Honor.
In my apartment.
Humble brag. We stayed at my place. Don't want to brag, but we stayed at my house. Yeah.
For vacation?
We went to the KOA for a little A. The
It
A
will-
in KOA is anal.
Based on the acquiescence of Mr. Peterson,
He's
I
had a
will
Woody the whole
grant
time.
the request to enter a protection order for a period of 1 year.
Got it. I don't know if she would have
And during
even
that
hadn't
time,
said that
no
though.
contact at all with Ms. Snavely.
Bottom line, Steve, yes.
Yes, sir.
And Ms. Snavely, if you want the order renewed, you'll have to come back to court and ask for it to be renewed.
If you take her out of town, she's a
Yes,
lot of
Your
fun.
Honor.
This order does not need further service since Mr.
I believe
Peterson
that,
did
Mrs.
appear and had previously been served. Mr. Parfett and the Benavente.
On to the next wellness check on Bob, please. Wellness check.
Bobby,
on
all right? Bobby, all right?
Okay,
Like I said,
right.
these are neighbors, Creed. They have
All
not had anal with the guy. We hear this a lot of times about the space between people's houses. You don't know if it's like, an easement or this, that, and the other, but things kind of get out of hand when Roy here decides to cut a tree. I don't give a shit about my trees, by the way. Somebody could show up and cut down every one of them, and I wouldn't care.
That's a great case. Hey, trees are very, very expensive to have removed, I hear.
Yeah, you do me a favor, bud.
Is if everybody would raise your right hands for me, please.
Do we have to?
Where the testimony in this case be the truth, whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
I do.
I do.
My God, there's a Sasquatch.
Hey, ma'am? Is that a yes, ma'am? I didn't hear you.
Yes.
What a hell of a beard,
Okay,
huh?
there we go.
That
Thank
was
you.
a man's beard.
All right. It appears the two parties here are neighbors, and just a very general summation of the petitioner's petition, as I understand it, is that Mr. Parfett yells over the fence at you. He peers over the fence.
Parfett, I believe.
And he's making you uncomfortable in your own yard. Go ahead and add anything else that you think isn't caught by that summary.
No, that's about it, Your Honor. We put up an 8-foot fence to separate our world from his world. We've asked the home association to give us that permission to raise the fence just for that separation, but yet he still figures out a way to, it's like that's it. That's all, Your Honor.
And the safety of our granddaughter,
Wow.
who was here the day that he was throwing
Roy, man, a few words.
over the fence.
Roy really sold that one, huh?
I mean, Creed, look, when your neighbor is none other than Randy Quaid, I mean,
Jesus Christ.
man's got bottomless pockets. He's going to drag you through the courts up and down.
All right. And when did the screening fence go up?
We started it last year.
Yeah, it was meant to be a slow process. Just whenever I got paid, I'd add a little bit to it. But when I started the harassment thing, we actually had to
I
charge
put a little
a
piece about every 2-3 weeks.
And then later on, we added sensors around the fence because it still didn't stop him. And then we added security cameras. He didn't seem to care about that, so we called the homeowner association to give us permission to raise the fence, and it's
They had a fence raising party.
still not doing anything.
You got sensors on it.
All right.
Sensors.
And from the Benavente standpoint, what's your opinion as to what precipitated this, the nature of this relationship?
Well, it was an issue that I did, and it was my mistake, and I admitted it to it right off the bat. Is that when I was working on the fence,
She hasn't even spoken a word yet, Kristen, and I am feeling that as well.
Yeah.
I haven't even barely seen her face.
what I thought was the green belt, there was a tree growing over
Yes.
in my yard, and there was I had to cut through 6 feet of blackberries and brush to get to that tree and cut that off so that I could continue my fence. I did not know at the time that it was private property. It looked like the green belt to me. And when he brought it to my attention, I apologized. And he said he would see what his attorney says about it. And that same afternoon, I looked out and he was grabbing my rope and my pulleys and my chains off the green belt and throwing it on his property. And I said, dude, that's my stuff. What are you doing?
Dude.
And he said, it's mine. So my property now, what are you going to do about it? That's at the point when I thought, I'm not dealing with a rational individual here. So I just kind of walked back in the house, and that's the way it's been ever since.
All right, thank you. And Mr. Lindgren, do you have any questions for the Benaventes?
No, Your Honor.
And you wish to have Mr. Parfett testify?
There's a picture of the fence.
Yes, Your Honor. I'm also prepared to defend the motion or defend the Mr. Parfett's response to the petitioner's petition in this case. But if there's something you'd like
Just
to
built out it.
Just a little bit every day.
Brandy, thank you for the 5 bones. Late fee hump day. Hell yeah.
We have not received a written response. So if there's a written response, it's not in the file.
He's
So,
building the fence
you
like
have
it's
a
the Great
response?
Wall of China.
Yeah.
I do.
And have the Benaventes received that?
We have not.
We have not.
Okay. So I think since I don't have one, and
I feel like that wasn't Roy's first time of cutting through thick bush.
That's a good point. I have a before and after, by the way. You just showed the fence. There's a before.
Yes.
And then after they added on, after they added on just a little bit before,
A little bit at a time.
After
we would build a little bit more. And he got mad about it. I don't know why. I cut through 6 feet of blackberry bush.
The way you're gonna have to do that is have Mr. Parfett testify today, and since you have a statement, you can use that as your basis for asking him questions.
Very well, Your Honor.
Okay, so I'll just remind Mr. Parfett, you're under oath. Okay, go ahead, Mr. Lindgren.
So you want the whole story?
You want us to talk about vacation
Can I
and
ask
everything,
for a
Your Honor?
Continuance?
Oh,
okay.
What?
So we've heard what the Benaventes have had to say, and Mr. Lindgren is your attorney, can figure out how best to respond by asking you questions concerning what you believe the facts are. Okay, Ms. Lindgren, go ahead.
You just tried to get out of it.
Mike, in August of 2023, how did this dispute begin?
We, prior to, or sometime in the beginning of early August 23, me and my wife noticed a large gap in the green belt.
In Roy's wife's
property line owned by the HOA. And I went to go look at the property line, and I saw numerous trees from the green belt, plus one large tree in particular had been cut down. Prior to that, prior to me going into the green belt, I delivered Mrs. Benavente a note, which I believe is in evidence, that said, can Roy contact me to talk about the tree he took down? She told me that he was...
Yeah, guys, I'm guessing that is an area between... kind of like in the front of your house, between the road and the sidewalk kind of thing?
That's a good question. Basically, I mean, I can show you a picture of it. Probably help a lot more. So when you're talking about a green belt, anytime you've, studied Taekwondo or karate, kung fu, you may be able to earn a green belt. Allegedly.
Is that what they're talking about?
That's what I Googled and come up as.
On the river fishing, and she would get him the note. I went into the green belt and I went onto our property corner. I had rented a special tool that'll find a surveyor's hub. And I was looking for the property corner when within 20 minutes, Mr. Benavente approached me in the green belt and on my property, demanded to know what I was doing on his property. I wasn't on his property. I was on my property in the green belt. In his statement, he states that, or somebody states that I accused him of taking the property stake. I never once accused him of taking the property stake. He actually showed me where it was. It was under the cover of an iron pipe. So I pulled the iron pipe. I checked with the special metal detector, and that's the property corner. So I said to him, I said, if this is the property corner and that's the tree on my property, then you cut down my tree. And prior to that, we had a conversation about he had gotten a plot map from the county.
All right, so I've got the proper termination of what a green belt is, which makes sense. So here in the South, they just clear cut everything and then build giant houses and never replant trees. Basically, is what they do, and it's really annoying. It's really annoying. I've never understood why you can't go in and just keep certain trees. You know what I mean? Like it just
again. As a young Southern gentleman myself, I just said, anybody wants to come and cut down every tree in my yard.
But anyways, a green belt is a policy and land use zone designation. I can't read today. Used in land use planning to retain areas of largely undeveloped wild or agricultural land surrounding or neighboring urban areas, which makes sense, having like a tree line around the properties or anything like that. So that's what he's talking about. So neither of them own that land technically, so that makes sense.
and that the map was wrong. And I told him it wasn't. I asked to look at his map, and he said no. I said, do you want to look at my phone? Because I was on the website for the county. He said no. He said I could go buy a map from the county office like he did. Then we could look at my map.
No shares.
So let me just stop you there so you understand what I need here. I'm not going to be able to resolve any property issue if there's any dispute about that.
Right.
Okay. What I am concerned about is the relationship between the parties as a result of this. So
Welcome
focus,
back, Chris.
if you'll focus your questions to Mr. Parfett about that, about how whatever transpired between the parties after that is what I'm looking for.
So
go ahead.
I've met them on 4 occasions.
Thanks for the like.
Once I delivered a note, once I talked to both of them through a closed front door with a witness. The other 2 instances was on April 31st when he approached me in the Greenbelt and on my property, and then August 31st. And then on April 13th, I was in the Greenbelt cleaning up the tree he cut down and some other damage and things like that. And they beat on their fence to get my attention. I was running a chainsaw. I had hearing protection in. I had hand tools, and I hollered, "I'll talk to you when I'm done." When I quit running the chainsaw, I went and stood on a stump in the Greenbelt, looked over their fence, got their attention, and asked what was going on, what did they want, whatever. We had a verbal altercation. Like I said, I threw a branch over the fence.
Oh,
I told him it wasn't on purpose. I'm cleaning the backyard up. I'm throwing branches and stuff behind me, running the chainsaw.
Like a madman.
See the video, you do see something go over the fence. It wasn't intentional. I didn't.
Okay. Since that date, have you had any contact with the Benaventes? And do you on any regular basis look over their fence outside of the incident you just described?
No.
Well, Your Honor, you see how hot Roy's wife is. Obviously, I do.
Only when Mrs. Roy's sunbathing.
Yeah, nude.
Mike, when you asked the Benaventes to pay for the tree, did you leave when they asked you to?
Yeah. They submitted a video. It shows 15 seconds of them asking me to leave the property, and that's what I did. It doesn't show maybe the minute or longer before that where he told me that we could talk through the door.
I really wish that they'd pick up that damn computer monitor that's fallen over on the desk there. Did you notice that? It's just leaving it laying down.
It's a convertible.
There's none of that in context. It's just them yelling at me, asking me to leave their property, which I did. I've never been on their property since.
How many times since the tree was cut down do you think you've interacted with them?
Since the tree was cut down, twice. When I talked to him through the door about the damages, and then on April 13th.
Have the petitioners ever tried to seek a protective order against you before?
Apparently, this is the second time. I wasn't aware of anything the first time around. They make a statement that they tried to get an order sometime last year, I'm assuming. And it, I don't know, was squashed or null and void or something. I don't know what happened. I wasn't even aware of that.
Have the petitioners ever called the police on you?
Yes. On March 8th, it looks like there was
that was one
after
day
my birthday.
I was sitting in front of her house, and I would park for a few minutes and drive away.
Whoa.
I did a PDR. I got the
Drank a PBR?
audio of the 911 call, and I did another PDR, and I got the officer's notes.
I hope you didn't drive after 2 PBRs.
Either through the notes or the audio, there's no description of me. There's no description of the vehicle. I've never intentionally parked in front of their house. Also, in that audio phone call, she references something to the effect that I threw the top of the tree that they cut down on top of their shed. And that's not what happened. Prior to her calling on March 8th, we had some windstorms or something like that.
Or
and
something
we
like
lost
that?
another tree on our property, and it went down.
That's him right on the stump, even.
Yeah, I got the chainsaw. You see that 6-foot thick bush behind him?
I'm wondering what the little lines are around his crotch. I was wondering. If
Oh, he's packing heat, brother. This is Randy Quaid, the Quaidinator.
I do like the hair. You've captured that very nicely.
Thank you. They're all great.
Remember, you can own that one if you're on our Discord, just so you know.
Into a healthy tree on our property. It went into the damaged tree that the Benaventes cut down, and it fell across their fence and onto their shed. It was still attached to the ground. We didn't hear anything from them or anything. On April 13th, we went out there, I cut up the tree that fell over, pulled it all off of their fence and off the top of their shed from my property line.
Looks a little
cut it out of
penisy.
there, untangled it from our healthy tree, and I cut the tree up that was on the ground. When they approached me on the 13th, they
That's
never
my
said
birthday,
anything
by
to
the
me
way.
about throwing the branches up on top of their shed. And it wasn't the branches from the tree he cut down. It was from a tree that fell down. The root ball was still attached to the ground.
The root ball?
And we just cut it up. It was our tree. We cut it up. We pulled it out of their fence and off the top of their shed.
Vacation, Mama Llama.
But part of this, you don't have that. They don't have that because the documents I got say I have 7 days to file any evidence, and I didn't get 7 days to file it. And there's another RCW or something. The sheriff has to serve me with 5 days, and I wasn't even served with 5 days. I've had basically 3 business days to do PDRs, to find an attorney.
He drinks a
to
lot.
get things put together.
There, you know.
Thank you.
Pop one for the road.
Like, during the interaction over the branches falling in their yard, the first one, were you carrying a firearm or some other kind of weapon?
No.
And is it true that it has only been 4 court days since you were served with this?
Yeah, I was served on Tuesday afternoon, about 1 o'clock in the afternoon.
That was a
The
taco
court date
Tuesday.
on Monday morning.
Why do I feel like Roy's wife is mad at Roy?
All right, thank you.
Like he's done a bad job.
Benaventes,
She's not a very nice woman.
anything else you want to add?
You know, Your Honor, we just want to be left alone to live our lives. We don't care about what goes on outside. Like I said, we apologize for the tree, but that apparently didn't stop him. We just want to enjoy our retirement years and just enjoy our backyard. That's all.
All right.
Backyard action.
Boner.
We had a
Could be
friend
worse.
named Boner
Could be
that
backdoor action. Yeah.
come
Yeah. What
through.
happened to Boner?
I don't
Yeah.
know.
Boner.
I've listened
I like
to
to think people that aren't here are
testimony in
dead.
the case, and I had previously reviewed
They're dead
the
to you.
exhibits that had been filed by the petitioners. And I do understand that Mr. Parfett was indicating that if given his preference, he would ask for more time to prepare. But after hearing all of this, I'm going to deny the petitioner's request for a protection order. Thus is why I'm not addressing the.
Who the hell's this guy?
Continuance.
Whoa, Rachel. Dude.
It appears that
Oh,
there's been this.
That's not even the guy we saw earlier.
Nope.
Apparently, the tree led to some.
The guy that walked back, sorry, I know there's a case going up. Listen, the guy that walked around like he owned the place, I kind of thought was the husband. And
I
he
do.
seemed very intrigued or maybe questioned what's going on with old Rachel. And now all of a sudden, he's gone. And that big, beautiful man just walked in. Big boy.
Big boy.
After court, honey, we can get this. He's going to be gone all day to work. Don't worry. We got plenty of time.
Request for protection order. Thus is why I'm not addressing the respondent's request.
Ready?
for
He gone?
continuance. It appears that there's been this dispute over apparently the tree led to some contention between the neighbors, and the relationship sort of went downhill after that.
Makes sense.
But the contacts have been limited. don't have any evidence of any contact subsequent to the 13th of April. And I don't find in here a basis for me to enter a protection order. So I'm going to deny the Benavente's request for such an order. What I will indicate, Mr. Parfett, is one, if you're seeking reimbursement for the cut tree and an apology is not enough, make sure any contact is through counsel, not through you.
Yes, Your
Go to
Honor.
the door and hand them a bill or anything.
Yep.
They've made clear they don't want contact from you.
Yes, Your Honor.
And they're on their property, you're on your property. They don't want to have discussions about the property. If you have objection to how they're administering their property, or if you think they're cutting your property or the greenbelt or whatever, either go to the HOA or contact counsel and have counsel contact them.
Yep.
But you can see how we're here in court because of the nature of the contact. I watched the video and I heard both parties yelling, so I understand that. I just strongly suggest that you avoid contact with the Benavente in any fashion unless you're going through third parties because you have certain issues.
Can that?
Rachel's drinking.
The Benaventes
Rachel's taking a
understand
beat.
the nature of this, and I would strongly suggest Mr. Parfett is also asking that you not contact him directly. And I've heard you say all you want is peace on your property, so I suspect you'll be happy not to contact Mr. Parfett. So hopefully this will bring some
peace and love. Peace and love.
This issue to bed
Nice.
for now, and
Timing.
hopefully this will bring some at least peaceful coexistence. You may not have to become best friends, but as neighbors, each party would probably like to enjoy their property peacefully without feeling under threat from the other. So let's see if we can leave it that way.
Understood.
All right.
Yep.
Thank you, Your Honor. Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. And we'll give you a copy of
Thank you, Your
the
Honor.
order. Benavente, you're not present, but this order will be
That is
available to
it.
you in your
Creed,
electronic
they
file.
come in, they lose,
Thank you, Your Honor.
but at least they got tantalized just a little bit beforehand with the last case.
Finn.
Fini. Finois. Finn
Those
Balor.
were two great cases. Still laughing about the first one. Just wasn't expecting that.
That one came in hot. It had no problems. I hope everybody gets all their documents returned. Again, Roy did a terrible job bleeding his case. Not once.
I mean, right off the bat, he said like 5 words. He goes, that's about it.
I mean, where is the threatening? Where is the things that's got you fearing for your life other than he's an a-hole?
Yep.
What more could you ask? I mean, it's not good enough, Roy. You blew it.
That was fun. So we got a lot still coming up. You said a premiere is on tap next, I believe.
Yeah, got a premiere coming up with a little bit of Judge Boyd dealing with a guy who says, hey, I know I signed that thing says I did this and this and I'm going to agree to this, but you know what? I didn't understand a damn thing I read. So she deals with that along with a lady who was beaten up.
Oh, that's not fun.
Her family member, allegedly.
Allegedly.
All alleged here, baby. Baby. Hey, baby.
Hey, baby.
Don't forget, we got Wild Woman Wednesday as well as we got a case members only happening, which is sure to be educational. If not,
Fletcher Boyd, thank you. I owe you a
hallelujah.
Gosh, I seem to have lost the hallelujah behind Boner. There it is. I found it. Fred Franklin, just in time, my friend.
Fred comes strolling in like he owned a place. Good to see you, Fred. Good to see you.
Good to see you, Fred.
I guess I have time to put Fletcher Boy on. Nope. Okay.
Nope. They did what? Express, KC, Gary, Fletcher Boy, God Rides a Harley, Sweet Tea, Brandy, Chris, E, of course, the note gifter. Welcome back. Thank you, guys.
No, I never even felt so good.
So this is interesting. Over at the old Carowoods.
But I like it.
And they have that nice concert area that they never use except for one like Christian thing one time a year.
The way that I want you.
They just announced Bret Michaels. Keep in mind, with a ticket, this is free. Bret Michaels, Dee Snider,
Me out late.
Great White.
I can hardly wait.
That's a pretty damn good show for free
Just
when
to
you
see
think
you.
about it.
I know you are not wait.
Who did he sing?
Wait to
who's he the
see
singer?
me too.
Agari?
Firehouse? I don't know.
I don't know.
We'll be at the drive-in in the old man's Ford behind them bushes till I'm screaming for more. On the bed, lock the cellar door, and baby, stay safe, stay hard, stay tuned. We'll see you for the next one. Bye now.
Oh, Steve was with Journey from 98 to 2006.
Oh, of course.
Anyways, that's a pretty decent lineup for
So now he's going to rip off all of Journey's old songs. Good for him.
You know it.